Hello everyone and welcome back to our 9-month adventure around the world. And today is a real adventure where I think we just had an amazing time.
And I thought it was horrible. Welcome to Living Phase 2.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Nancy, and we're empty nesters striving to live life to the fullest.
And we are sure living that full life today as we go all the way around the world, taking 9 months to do it on the Ultimate World Cruise.
Well, we sure are, friends. We're up to day 248. We are in Haugesund, Norway. We're on the southern end of Norway on the west coast, right along the North Sea here now at this point. And our ship docks basically right in town. We've got shore power again, which is always nice.
Yeah,
so
more environmentally friendly.
It is. And so it was very easy for us to get off the ship and to get into town, although it was maybe close to a 30-minute walk. You have to walk over a couple of bridges to get into town, but the views were beautiful. The homes, the architecture is all very pretty to look at.
Now there is a shuttle if you need to take it back and forth because, going up especially over one of those bridges is quite a ways up and back down. So if you do need the shuttle, there is one there as well. Well, we had really not a lot planned here in Haugesund. We were going to, once again, let the town speak to us. We were just going to go and discover and see what there is to see here. Now, what many people do when they come here is they will go on a waterfall and fjord tour where they'll take a bus or potentially a boat, go and look at, there's a couple of very beautiful waterfalls here. And of course, the fjords here in Norway are gorgeous. There's hiking. And of course, just the city itself is the attraction, the beautiful seaside North Sea homes and the architecture. It's a very small town, kind of a quiet town. We're here on a Wednesday and it's, pretty quiet. You got to wait till about noon or so before things really pick up in town if you're going to do any shopping or sightseeing or things like that. But what we did is walked off the ship and there was a set of vendors there that were selling excursions, things to do, all kinds of activities. And we've been doing this a little bit in a few ports. Instead of trying to pre-plan and research and do all that, we just get off and say, hey, what do they have to offer us? And one of the things that caught our eyes was a North Sea rib boat tour.
Well, so we paid, it was about $100, either
person.
Equivalent in US dollars to $100 a person. And we had our time reserved. And so we walked over to where our meeting location was. When you get there, they're going to have you put on a lot of safety gear. I mean, because the North Sea is frigid cold. So you've got to have warm, waterproof layers here and goggles and boots and all kinds of equipment here. So your first thing you're going to do is get suited up.
Right. And of course, sign all those waivers.
Yeah.
You signed a lot of those. So no, and it was really, having all that safety gear was good for a day like today because it is cold, it's rainy, it's wet. Not the best day to go out on a rib boat in the North Sea, but it certainly made for an adventure.
Well, after they had gone over their extensive safety briefing with us, we got on the boats and went through, we kind of went through the town of Haugesund. We could see more of the beautiful architecture, the homes there. We could see our ship. So this was the nice part of the tour. It was just
You like that?
I did like this part of it. It was a nice, smooth ride, but we're going to go out towards two different islands and to see them out into the North Sea. The first thing, though, that we saw was an area where they've got fishing breeding areas there. So we stopped there and looked for a moment and had a photo stop.
Yeah, he gave us a little information on how they breed fish there in the North Sea. Obviously, fishing is a huge part of the culture here. And so he showed us how they do that. We circled around that. And then we started heading out to our first destination, which was?
It was Faya Island.
Yeah, it's not spelled anything like it's said, but yeah, we hope we're pronouncing it close.
Well, that's like how he pronounced it. And this is a charming little island, quaint. There's only 40 people who live here. They pretty much all do fishing on this island, but it was very charming. We kind of went through the canals of the island.
Yeah, because the island is broken up into pieces of rock, basically, is what it is. And so we circled all throughout that. And then after we left that island, saw the quaint little homes and things, then we kind of busted out and went across the sea to get to our next island destination. And I think this is where, it got pretty rough for you. Well, let's show them what it looked like here. It was a little wild.
It was. I mean, the hard part of this for me was here, my knees are bothering me, my back is bothering me. I've lost a lot of strength in my knees at this point, and you kind of have to ride this rib boat like a horse, where you kind of want to float on top, and your knees need to be your shock absorber. And since I just didn't have the strength to hold myself up for a long period of time like that, and so our boat driver was having fun. He was kind of doing donuts and creating waves, and then he'd go over the wave and it would slam you back down. And it was a painful experience. That's all I have to say. It was very strenuous for me. Certainly, I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
and you've made that clear on a couple of future ones.
So we're going to our next island called Rover Island here. And again, it's a very charming, sweet town. And again, a good, beautiful photo stop.
Yeah, this one's practically a metropolis. They have a post office.
They do.
Still only a few dozen people live here. It's, again, living out on these islands. Fishing is their main means of income. And yeah, it was really a nice way to get out and away from the mainland and seeing how people live in other areas.
I will say it was nice to see those things. I just didn't like
it. Was the getting there and coming back.
I just didn't like the way we did it.
Yeah. Well, so we left Rover Island and we headed back across the North Sea. And again, it was a little rough getting back over there. For me, the only bad part was because it was raining so much that, just kind of getting it in the face and I couldn't really have anything on my head. There's nothing protecting me up there. But yeah, that was the harder part because it was cold rain that day. It just made it not so fun. I think if it was a nice sunny summer day, it would be, 10 times better.
You would have enjoyed that. Really, I could put up with the rain. I just couldn't put up with the
holding on,
roughness, the roughness of the ride.
Yeah. Well, we did make it back into town. We went through the canals then again of Haugesund, had some beautiful views, and then we disembarked. You did take a nice picture. You did have a smile on your face after we got back. There was, I think in retrospect, you're looking back at the painful parts, but you did comment.
It was beautiful. What we saw was just very nice, and
it was just rough. Yeah. Well, after we left the rib boat and we dried off as much as we could, we decided to see the sights and what there is to see actually here in Haugesund. So we did a little walking tour, and the first place we went was one of the churches in town. Surprise, another church.
This church here was Our Savior's Church. It's an evangelical Lutheran church built in 1901, brick on the outside. The inside was very pretty, a pretty organ and altar, and the woodwork, the ceiling was beautiful. So it's certainly a don't miss.
These naval or sailing communities or seafaring communities, maybe the best way to say it, do some beautiful woodwork in their churches. Yeah, they know how to do woodwork from building ships, and it shows in their churches. So be sure to take a glimpse in. They're much different than you might see a Baroque church on the mainland or something. The architecture of these I find really beautiful.
Then we went to an attraction. We didn't really go in the attraction. We went in their gift shop, but it's called Viking Planet. Now, the attraction itself is kind of a 3D simulation of living back in Viking times, but we just wanted to pop into the gift shop as they had some rather authentic Viking souvenirs.
Yeah, if you want Viking souvenirs, the gift shop of Viking Planet is really the place to go. Tons and tons of stuff that's Viking related. We weren't too interested in seeing the actual attraction itself, but there's no cost to go in the gift shop. Of course, they want you to come in there. But so yeah, be sure to stop in there. It's one of Haugesund's newest and actually most popular attractions now is Viking Planet.
Well, next we met one of our YouTube viewers here, Doug, and
Hi, Doug.
Hi. We really appreciate seeing our YouTube family, and so Doug stopped and talked with us for a while, and then he joined us on a hot dog adventure that we had.
Well, we tried.
We tried. It was kind of a bust because you had looked up a hot dog place that you thought would be very good, and then it was closed.
Yeah, it didn't open till like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon or something. I mean, they weren't, originally it said they were going to open at 11, then we actually went, we waited, we went there when it was supposed to open, and then they had a sign that said no, they weren't open until 4 o'clock that day. So again, small towns, right? The hours, everything can change. So Doug, we're sorry we didn't get a hot dog together.
I know.
Maybe next time we meet you on a cruise.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, after that, we were just wandering the streets, enjoying this quaint, charming town, seeing the sculptures, again, more architecture. It's beautiful town, beautiful area.
I mean, the town itself really is why you stop here. I mean, you might go see the waterfall, you might see the fjords, and of course you might go on a rib boat like we did, but really just wandering this wonderful seafaring town and its architecture and its houses is really the sight to go see.
Beautiful. So we walked over the 2 bridges to get back to the ship as we've got a big day tomorrow.
That's right. So tomorrow we're going to Wildest, Norway, and this one we're going to tell you probably ranks up in at least the top 5 of the most beautiful, picturesque stops that we've had on the entire Ultimate World Cruise. We hike to the top of the fjord, we take a boat through the fjord, and we see waterfalls, and we have waffles.
So you're not going to want to miss it, friends. We will see you very soon. Have a beautiful day. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.